to the Extra Scoop. I'm Peyton Fender.
Dude, that was awesome.
Alex, this
is my Jeff Goss.
What's up, guys? We are back with Extra Scoop, and this is Alex's first time on this, and he was surprised. It's the first time he's seen the video, I believe. So the opening. So he was excited.
It was so awesome.
It was awesome, right?
I was. Could you see me in the background jamming?
Yeah.
Could you see me in the background jamming to it? Dude, it was so cool. I was watching. I'm just watching the highlights of it. I'm like, this is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I would love to be invited on a show like this.
Oh man. So, Peyton, how are you doing?
We're here. Apparently, I'm joining the show.
Yes, you're joining the show. Just shut up for a little bit, Alex. All right, I'll tell you when to join. All right, you're like your internet is crappy again, so you're like super behind, or maybe I am. I don't know. So
I'm good on this.
Well, Peyton, how has your month been? And fill us in on everything. You know, of what's going on.
I just got back to training last week. Was like my first time actually fighting and moving around. So excited about that. You know, got to get back into the swing of things because once you're out for a little bit, you're kind of rusty coming back. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm kind of working my way back up.
Yeah, I understand. Alex, you've talked a little bit about that. Yes. Talk a little. Yeah, we were talking about that, right? About like even just with the show. Yeah, even with the show, like of us not doing stuff for like a week. We missed 1 week and we're like, whoa. But actually Monday was pretty good. Monday was pretty good.
Funny, that's thinking it.
Alex, you're
I was actually thinking about this the other like a couple days ago. Is it that bad again? All right. No worries.
Bro. Yeah,
I'm
bro.
gonna log off and then pop back on because I don't want to freeze.
All right. Yes, sir. But yeah, I've been there as well, Peyton, as far as like, you know, like having to stop for a little bit and then getting back. And especially when it goes with your ankles, because I mean, it's from the ground up, right? And it's the base for us. So you feel everything that we do in martial arts.
Oh yeah. It's been a trip because the biggest thing that Hakeem was worried about was, oh, well, when you impact something, how is it going to feel? And of course, last week on Wednesday, I'm fighting a couple of my students and I impacted with them and it hurt. So yeah.
I understand. So when he gets back on, we're going to talk about some things that have been happening, some exciting things that came out this week that involve both of us, but also just to get your take on it, and just the excitement when we have new team members, right? And not just new team members, but ones that like directly affect you, right? So
some of who have become my friends.
Exactly.
One of them, Beatrice, I've known since she was like 9. So
right.
And we were on Velocity together, and then we went our separate ways, and now we're back. So just having her as a teammate and friend and someone I grew up with is crazy. And then Brianna, that one I was so excited about. When Canel told me, I was like, yes.
Yeah.
For both of them, I was so excited.
It was pretty awesome. I believe right before I left for Oklahoma City was when he said yes, she said yes, and we're going to announce it. And I think it was announced like on the way there, right? And then I got the text the night before I was leaving that Beatrice said yes, and so it was just kind of a funny. I was like, there's one, and then there's another one, but I kind of couldn't tell everybody. One of the people with me knew already. But so it was pretty cool just to be involved in just the recruitment part of it, but also just the excitement, right? And really, when you think about that, what that brings to our team with Team Evolution, And also what that brings to you, Yamina, Spongy, all the different females that are there. We're really creating just an awesome female team that everyone pulls together and draws from each other, right?
Oh yeah, and we're all good friends.
Yeah.
Like on like when we're at tournaments and like off the mat. So that's something that's also going to brighten up the team dynamic as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I know Alex, he'll join in on this too, because he's, been on teams with a lot of people, a lot of guys that all pushed each other, guys he trained with, and just that dynamic. Guys and girls are a little different, right? So when a new female comes on the team for you, what is your feeling? Some people get a little, oh man, what the heck? They're trying to take my spot. Or what is your feeling with this?
For me, it's more of like an additive thing. Like you're adding to the team, you're adding to the dynamic that we already have, and you're adding a lot of power, especially with the two women we just picked up.
Yeah.
Like, you're adding some power to the team. And I will never forget how it was worded to me. We have a fighter for any women fighter that's thrown in front of us.
Yep, exactly.
So really, it just, for me, I was happy for them because now they're my teammates, and now we're all going to work together to build up this dynamic for the women's division.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that. That it's exciting for of course Revolution, but it's also exciting because it adds even more of that. Really, because now you have Revolution, who actually was already a powerhouse on the women's team side, right? But now you make that even stronger. And
That's
then
true.
You have Diamond that is coming up, and they've been having some great team fighting events. And then you have, JPM, of course. So it's like a three-headed race right now. Three horses kind of go just stacked, right? And again, if you go into this the right way, and again, Alex, I know you'll be able to touch on this too. Those team members, you got to draw from that and make that push you, not feel like someone's trying to take my spot or push me out, right? It's more of, hey,
100%.
This is going to be
100%.
We're going to be great. And but I've been on teams where the females did not get along, okay? And you knew it was just about time before one of them left. This is a completely different situation, and it's really cool to see that, right?
Because we were already cheering each other on before we were wearing the same colors.
I think all of you guys have team talk as well. So.
When all four of us were on different teams, so when I was on Velocity, Jimena was Revolution, Beatrice was Legend, and Soka was Blaze, we all would sit beside the ring and cheer each other on, no matter like who we were fighting. So now that we're all together, I feel like it's just really going to enhance that dynamic.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's really cool. Alex, I know we talk about this a lot on Inside Scoop, but add just that extra dynamic of how it feels to have high-level people that are fighting with you. Because, of course, you train with a lot of them on a daily basis, with Greg, Ahmed, Elias, all those guys, right?
Yeah, that's true. Well, it brings a certain amount of when you fight on teams, when you first start it, and Peyton, you'll know what I'm talking about. When you first start in that division, you just want to be in the division because that's where the best fighters are, right?
Yep.
And it's
Team
extra
fighting,
fighting. But then once you do it for a while, and typically when you just want to be in the division, you put together a team. And typically that team's not that great in comparison to the full pool of fighters. It's rare that you're like, hey, you want to fight together? And then you guys like make it to the finals. Like that doesn't typically happen, right? So what then after you're in the division for a while, you'd like to, if you're a really good fighter, not to always have to fight anchor. Like you want to do it because you want to do it. You don't want to do it because you're going to be in a hole by 8 points or more. And you don't want to go in there feeling like I have to be perfect. I have to be perfect just to be at 0, right? There's a lot of stress in that. Because when you go into an individual match, like you just go in 0-0 against the same guy or girl, there's a lot less stress because it's just you and all right, I'm just fighting the person in front of me. That's all I have to focus on. But in a team matchup, that's not all you have to focus on. It is all you should focus on, but it's not all you focus on because you have to think about what just happened in the last match. He lost by 3. If I go even, is that enough? Can my next guy make 3 or more? Right. And if you go even, your coach might be like, you had to get us back to even. So like, look at what you just did for this guy. He's fighting like Laszlo Gambos down 3, and he's like not as fast. Like, are you kidding me? Or she's fighting Morgan Plowden, down 2. Are you kidding me? If you guys were 0-0, what would make you think that she's gonna beat Morgan? Like, now she's down 3. Like, oh, man, and it's just little things like that. But when you go in and you're fighting, go for it.
Yeah, there's only two women, so it's either you're down 3 the first match, you tie it, then it's first point wins.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where you gotta have to bounce off of your partner.
Yeah. And that's what's really so exciting about the female. Like, I love watching women's teams because it's fast paced and it's exciting, and there's always really different matchups, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So it's
rarely
so cool.
The same matchup.
Right. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely exciting. I'm just going to give you an example of I've been on teams where. So let's just go with the classic. At Battle of Atlanta '99, there was a brawl on stage between Dottie White and Nikki Carlson. January that next year, and that is in, I think at that time, that's September, maybe October. January the next year, hey, let's add Nikki onto the team with Dottie. Wait, what? After they had this big thing, and this is the thing where everybody's a little different, right? Sometimes with females it works, sometimes with males it doesn't. At this time, the coach and the sponsor was like, you know what? Me and this guy always fought all the time, and we got in a brawl, and we're fine now. This situation was not that way, okay? And it pretty much lasted maybe 5 months, okay? That, and it was kind of funny when Dottie was at one tournament, Nikki wasn't there. When Nikki was at one tournament, Dottie wasn't there. It was kind of one of those things, right? Yeah, Team Elite 2000. But just imagine if we could have made that like work, right? And back then it was 3-women team. You had Nikki, Dottie, and Claire Kokoza all in the same team. It's like, it's insane. But the thing is, every time that we won, no matter who was there, because you have an amazing fighter like Dottie who could anchor it with Claire. And then another one people forget about who was an awesome fighter, Stephanie Flowers, who was always the 3rd member of the team. So, and she frustrated people because they thought she was just a foreign person.
I'm so glad that you said that.
And she was going to kick him in the face no matter what. So I mean, it's really cool to so what's cool is to see it in a different situation, right? Just really really excited about this, and excited that everyone's pumped up. And I also think besides you 4, everyone else on the team should get amped as well, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Alex, also, and we didn't even get to talk about
this too. Great about team fighting, though.
Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead, Alex. You go ahead with that, and then because mine's
kind
of off the different.
Say what's else is so. Got you. Well, what I was going to say is, what's so great about team fighting is, in this sport, everybody takes an L. Everybody's going to take a loss at some point, right?
Yep.
And team fighting is a great example as to like, all right, this is where you can take an L, because I mean, let's just say, okay, we mentioned her name a couple times. We mentioned Morgan Plowden. And we're going to mention her right now because she's the standard. Is anybody better than her in the States right now? No. Right. So it's just kind of where it is, right? We all know it. It doesn't mean that other women fighters don't think like, hey, I could beat her. Right. Sure. But right now she's just the standard. It's just the way it is. But she's taken L's in teams before. stuff's happened, right? And when you do that, when you're able to like get a win on someone like that, then it makes you feel like I think I could actually do this thing. I can actually do this. Like you didn't win your team match, but you beat them. And you're like, could I, if it was 0-0, could I have done this? And it's just great to where you get extra opportunities. You fight people in different weight categories. I'm not the proponent for lightweights fight lightweights, middleweights fight middleweights. I'm not a proponent for that. I'm still, I think, leave the weight category wide open, and you will see a lot of different matchups. I mean, like you mentioned it before.
Agreed.
Like we watched Hamid Farouzi fight Damon Gilbert and look like he was going to die, and then snap Damon's head back, and it's like, holy crap, right?
Right.
Who would have thought this was going to happen? Team fighting is exciting.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. And then also the next level of that is that, when all four of you at an event, we have two teams, and it's like, all right, get through this one or get through that one, and again, like that's what was for me. Again, I'll go back to like 1999. Team Elite, we went to US Open and we beat a JPM team in the first round. We beat I believe it was Mike Pombero, Jody, and Didi, right? Batista. Guess what? They have another team waiting for us with Preston, Brian Ruth, and Reggie Perry. It's like, well, dang, you got through one, but you didn't get through all of us, right? And I feel like that's what we're going to be bringing to the sport with that. I feel like Diamond does the same thing. They have an amazing roster of females, and I mean, let's be honest. Like everyone is still shooting to beat that JPM team, and I think this makes it even just an exciting thing. So, another addition to Team Revolution was, like you said, two of your best friends joined. One of my best friends is now on the team, and that is Tim Conkle, and he is in my divisions as well. So again, it's funny how everybody takes things different, right? For me, it's like, all right, this is good because him and I, honestly, we're best friends, but we're kind of like Alex and like Greg and those guys, right? We're kind of pricks to each other a little bit when it goes to competing.
I don't know about that.
But it's a good way, right? We push each other, we challenge each other. It's funny. I think I shared it once before. Like people really thought we like didn't like each other the first time we competed against each other, and they were like, "What's your beef with Jeff Doss and what's your beef with Tim Conkle?" Really funny, yeah. And then now we're that's my buddy, right? So and both of us has pushed each other on the NBL circuit and in NASCA, competing against each other, with each other. So this is going to be an exciting time. He's a great competitor who still has things to prove, and he has some accomplishments that he wants to do on the NASCA circuit. And so it's going to be exciting seeing that, and for us to really do the, like I'll be in the 30s and 40s and 18, and he'll be doing the same. He's going to be doing the 18 and 30 as well. And then, we also have Sterling Keefe, who's a new a junior competitor that I've been looking at for a long time, and really excited about having him on the team and looking forward to his first event competing with us too. So it's a cool thing. This, of course, this isn't just a Team Revolution show, but I think it's important for us to discuss and talk about what is actually going on in our life, right? We can't just talk about everything else. This is what's cool about our shows, is that we bring you guys in, right?
Word.
Go. You got anything to say about that, Peyton? Then we'll let Alex ramble after I just did.
No, just the new additions to the team. Super excited to just see and compete, like not with them necessarily, but because I don't do forms, but watch you guys compete and watch you guys, be in the ring and watch the ladies do their thing for the first time in the green. So yeah, I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. All right, Alex, what do you got about all this? What do all these things kind of bring like memories to you about?
Oh, memories? Oh man. I mean,
Oh no, I know.
yeah,
I know
you're
when
right.
you
They
hear
do bring memories, but I was on the other side of it.
Okay.
Go. Say it.
I'm just saying when usually like you hear something, you have like, oh, this makes me think of this. You were
Oh
so far
yeah.
behind.
So I mean, as far as the pickups, I know, but it's okay. So as far as the pickups, I was always on the other side of the pickups. So what I typically wanted to do was when a new competitor got picked up on a team, I wanted to fight that fighter. And I wanted to take, I mean, I'm just being honest. And I was not alone. Right. I wanted to take that fighter out. Full transparency. I've told this to Greg Belloc, since you mentioned his name many times. When he got on JPM, I knew that before he got off the stage at the Battle of Atlanta in 2005, I was like, this dude's on JPM, right? From the one fight he had with Jason Borelli, which to that point was a lot of people's greatest point fights that they'd seen at that point. So I was like, this is it. But what he and I had an agreement that we were basically the same weight, right? But I would cut to get down to middleweight because Greg was grumpy and didn't want to, right? So I'm like, F this dude. Next year, I'm fighting light heavy. We'll see what happens now, G, right? And that's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to beat the crap out of this guy. I wanted to beat him so bad just to show him like, hey, you guys picked him up. Yeah, I know you made the right decision, but I'm the better guy between the two of us. I'm the better one. And full sincerity, I did feel like I was better than Greg. But it was the right move. It was the right move to pick up Greg. Greg was a more successful fighter than me. Hands down. I still will go down saying I'm better than him. So when a new competitor would get picked up on this team or on that team, I would hunt them. Like, I'm taking you down. This is because I can't get my name out there. Look at, they got their name out there. I can't do, I'm not on this team. This is the only way I can do it. Because everybody's going to have eyes on them. So when your eyes are on them, your eyes are going to be on them losing to my feet. Right. But that's what I would think about in those things. That's what would go through my head.
I love it. That's true though. I mean, and I think that's what makes it exciting about all of this, right? We have diamonds coming up next week. Again, a lot of the females on our team are doing other things or mending injuries, right? So it's going to be exciting for everyone to be behind Brianna there and cheer her on.
You're on a screen.
Yes, on the screen. Yes. So, what are some other times where you were excited when you saw some
where you're at right now?
Yeah. I'm still at my school.
Yeah.
You hear the yelling?
Oh, that's cool. All right, my bad, Jeff.
So yes, what are some times when, kind of like what Alex said, like when new members got picked up on teams and you were just excited, maybe as a fan, maybe as a competitor, like Alex was saying, like, oh, time for me to show off and take this person out. Maybe this is a challenge. Or, you had talked before about when Kevin, got up one straight up, you're like, whoa, this is cool.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. There were so many surprises at the beginning of the year, like just between like Kevin on straight up. And then I don't know if you saw this, but Katie moved over to Alex Reyes's team. So yeah, there's been a couple of switches going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things, and then of course, obviously JPM, that was an exciting thing, right? Because all of us like, oh, okay, how is this going to work?
All of them. But they were all super valid pickups. So like all of them, I think, are amazing fighters.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, and then you look at, I think Kevin with Bailey and Brandon was one of the best. Right. It just brought that extra layer of expertise, but also someone who knows how to win, right?
Oh yeah.
And who has great teams.
100%.
Alex, you got anyone new team members like that
I
come to
want
your
to
mind?
I want to chat about the Kevin pickup, because it happened so long ago. But
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the pickup that when it happened, I was like, I mean, yeah, it makes sense. And I kind of feel like, isn't this kind of like 2-3 years too late? Like this should have kind of happened like didn't ever.
Right.
I don't know if you guys felt that way, but I did.
No,
As I always, and I've been vocal about it. Like if someone's like,
Mhm.
"Gee, I want to sponsor a team," like just sponsor the All Stars. They're sitting there, they're assembled,
Oh yeah.
they're amazing. Just
Oh
sponsor
yeah.
them. If all you want to do is sponsor a team, they're just sitting there. But they were just, and that's what they were. They were just kind of sitting there. They'd go to tournaments, dominate, and then go home, and they'd be the cool team. But they weren't. They were paying their own way, which is
Yeah.
cool, right? A group of guys, but like that's. I mean, there's no secret. Like they were paying it for everything, and they're the best fighters in the world. So like Kevin getting picked up, I felt like, man, aren't we a couple of years behind on this? He's the elder statesman, if you're going to call it that, on the team. And I just feel like the personalities fit so well.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes they do not, right? Like, all right, well, pretty much any team that's had Brian Ruth and Jotty Tension together, they don't fit, right? Right?
It's true.
Well, what were you thinking, Jeff? What's one you were thinking?
Honestly, I felt like that was a lot of what Hayabusa had. Like I felt like there was a lot of us, like the personalities on that just didn't mesh up. Now some of them were complete opposites and it worked, but some of it just did not. It was the most random team to me.
Yeah.
It was. But the guys were all super cool. No, I'm not going to say his name, but there was one guy specifically on the team. There was one, obviously, it was a male. There was one guy on the team that there was a few guys on the team would really not have a problem if they put fists through his head. Right. So, yeah, they did not like this guy at all. And yeah, I didn't have that kind of feeling towards him, but I guess I kind of understood, but I mean, it was funny. What was so funny is like at the time, Jeremy Francoeur did not speak that great of English, so he didn't really speak. Right. And he wasn't even 18. He was 16, but we couldn't really out it. He couldn't really out himself because like in conversation, because he wasn't having any conversations. He just said 18. And like if you asked him anything, he just I don't know what you say in French for no hablo. I don't know what that is, but whatever that is, that's what he would do, and it was weird, like, but we did have like a really we had some amazing talent on that team, but it was kind of like a band of misfits at times too.
At times, yeah, it definitely was. So what are some things that you're excited to see as a fan? All right, well, actually, two events. This weekend is Bristol Open, and then next weekend is Diamonds. So
go for it, Peyton.
I wish I was going. However, we all know, unfortunately, I am not. However, that event last year was amazing. Being overseas, this was my first overseas tournament. So like for me, it was like, wow. But I wish I was going back because the fighters they have going this year, the roster is crazy.
Talk about it.
So I know Brianna is going back, Kitana is going back. They have Lily going this year.
She fights great in the Waco system.
I know Francesca is going back. Evelyn's going back. I know Tina was there last year. I'm sure she's going to be there again this year. But all of those fighters, I'm so excited to see how that's going to go down. Because they have the men's and women's thing going on where they're going to win, a buttload of money. So I'm so excited to see how that's going to go.
What would be your prediction for women's final matchup?
Final matchup?
But you can't really, for the grand championship, you can't really say like, oh, I think it's going to be, because you don't know how the brackets would go.
No,
so it's literally just it's an entire guess. So
yeah. If I had to, okay, so if I had to guess one of them, I think my first guess would be Francesca.
That's a valid one. Yeah,
My
That is
first
that's
she's
a
been on
valid
fire.
one.
would be
Yeah, she's been on
Francesca.
fire.
She has, yeah.
That's,
She's
CC.
been killing it. She's been killing it. And then I don't know. I would have to go probably either Katana or Lily
False.
or Evelyn. I don't really know.
Yes.
Evelyn.
That's the correct one.
Evelyn and
Here's
Francesca.
why. Listen, if you were to say Katana, yeah, I understand. If you were to say Lily, yeah, because Lily's been in finals for grand championships in the Waco system before. I think she won the junior women's at the Irish Open in the past.
Yeah,
and she's
did.
made the final
She was
four, I
runner-up.
think, for the women's. So she's no joke, right? She's very good at this system. She understands it. But listen, the correct answer is Evelyn Naines. So she's her ceiling is just, as far as talent wise, is just as high as everybody else, but her consistency is way better than everybody else. And she has so much she's got enough longevity. Like, think about this. When she came to the States for the first time and did like the Amerikick championship, and we're like, and she was kind of like the new it thing in Europe. And then it was like, all right, we're gonna fight Morgan Plowden, and Morgan tears her knee out, and you're like, oh crap, what could have been?
Right.
That was 2016.
That's crazy. Yeah, how long ago?
That was 2016.
7 years ago. Wow.
Yeah.
Exactly. And she's essentially been a champion and hasn't stopped since.
Oh yeah.
So
no.
that's why the answer, just the same way I say, listen, I'm just going to keep picking Morgan Plowden until somebody beats her. I'm essentially going to say the same thing about Evelyn Naines, right?
Right.
Now, matchups could be different. Like, if you were telling me, like, I don't even know who I'd match up beat her. I don't know. I actually think Morgan could beat her. If they were like matched up in the same division, I'd be like, oh, never mind. This could change some things now. Right.
Right.
But yeah, it's so fun. It's exciting. I know. I get excited about it too.
I'm interested.
Gonna be great.
How the bracket's going to go and just how all the fights are going to go in general. Because even the men's roster is stacked too. So
yeah, it is. I know for me on the men's side, and this is going to sound different than most, but I'm just going to tell you, man, and people don't talk about this guy enough, but if you look at every time that there's an open weight winner over the past almost year, there's been Ricardo Albanese almost every time, dude. And this guy is consistently winning them. I think he won it last year. He won the Bristol Open last year. He was in the final. He beat Elijah in the beginning of the year. He won the one last week in Italy. He's won so many, and he's consistently beating high level people. And then for me, another person that does the same thing over there is Enrique. Enrique knows how to fight in the Waco system, and he knows how to beat those guys. So those two guys, for me, I'd put money to that. They would be at least in the top four. You know,
I think Enrique is going to be a tough beat. I think he really is. I mean, there's just certain things. Like, if you're a pretty competent kicker, all right, you're gonna do okay. But if you have mistakes in your game, like, they'll pick you apart, right? You can lose to a scrub. But if you're a great kicker, like, yeah, you're gonna clean house, right?
Oh, yeah.
I always felt more comfortable fighting. Like, when I would fight at the Irish Open, I always felt more comfortable. I'm like, oh yeah, this is way easier. The biggest difference is the level of contact, right?
Oh yeah.
What do kickers hate? Kickers hate getting pressured. Kickers hate having to be forced to. We want to choose when to kick, right? So if you're never going to kick and my leg gets to come up and you're freaked out about when it comes up, I'm always in control, right? But in the States, it don't work that way. In the States, no one's afraid of that. In the States, we'll bully you around.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I think Enrique is going to be a tough beat. But you know what? In Europe, I think Italy has really kind of separated themselves from the pack. I think Italy is really, they're kind of it from the men's and the women's side.
And they have great kickers.
Yes.
And great movement, you know. So
you know what, Jeff? I had man, all these thoughts that were going through my head this week. This was another thought I had, right? So there's a club out there. They're not like in Italy, all right. They're not like the elite of the elites, but they're pretty damn good. And I forget what the letters stand for, but it's HMD. But anyway, they're very good martial artists, right? So I was chatting with Obeda on it. I'm like, man, don't these guys seem like a little bit more buttoned up than the rest? And he goes, yeah, because they're karate guys. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he goes, dude, they had an official bow in. I'm like, get the heck out of here. And he's like, no, dude, I watched them over there. And then sure enough, he was like, no, come over here. They got a whole thing over here. So they're real like karate students, right? Like, I guess like we are, right? So, but that's the difference is the clubs in Europe will look at bodies out there, people, and just create martial arts athletes. Whereas that's not bad at all. That's very good. All right. And we create martial artists and then create martial arts athletes from those martial artists.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be the same. You can be a martial artist and not a martial arts athlete.
The culture is completely different.
Yeah,
exactly. So now you got this one. Then you got this club where, like, I remember a guy was like pumping kicks at me, putting it down, moving, like throwing hook rounds, and I'm like, oh, this is fun. All right, this is cool, right? And I remember like he didn't have good distance though. I could sit back and go, oh, this is kind of cool because I wasn't really threatened by it. But they got some guys like David. What I can't. Listen, I'm Italian, and I'm not going to attempt his last name.
Yeah, right? David. He's on Proper now too, right? Is that it? Is he the new guy on Proper?
Oh yeah, I guess he's one of all the Italian propers, I suppose. Which all of Proper is Italian now, but whatever. Right?
Yeah.
Except if I'm lying, I'm dying. Right?
Yeah.
Except Connor, I suppose. He's except Connor, the 16'7" Irishman.
Oh man. So yeah, I mean,
hope
it's gonna be
all these guys succeed.
Go ahead. They are though. What is going on with all that? I don't know. I don't like that as a short person. Okay, all right.
No.
Yeah, Peyton's in the same boat.
Second.
All right. So we got Bristol Open. We got the next week Diamonds. I know for me, training is just, not finishing up, never finishes up, but really toning in everything, getting ready. And it's exciting for me. I don't know who all is going to be there. But it's still just kind of like what Alex and I always say, like it's our favorite event, it's just something about just that it's a classic, you know what I mean? Like really when you think like a classic tournament, a prestigious tournament, right? And that's what you think about, for me now, it's two events that are like that for me that I've gone to since I was a child. Like I wouldn't even consider myself a kid. I was like a child. I was like almost an infant. I was like 4 or 5, when I was, I went to the Battle of Atlanta, it was just like it's the battle and it's Diamonds for me with those two tournaments, now AKA has kind of become that as well for me. Like I get excited, especially now that it's in the beginning of the year. I think that's what makes it really exciting. Right. But Peyton, on the female side, what is it that you're excited to see besides, of course, I mean, we kind of already talked about, we're excited to see Brianna and Green. So that's going to be fun, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm just excited to watch I know for a fact, all of the fights that are going to be super exciting this weekend and next weekend. I'm excited to be able not cheer y'all on in person, but I'll be here through the screen. I'll be cheering you guys on. I'm excited because last year for me, I went from Bristol. I was home for 3 days and then I flew to Minnesota. So yeah, I was off a plane, on a plane, and then I made it pretty far in open weight. It was me and Jimena for the top 2, and then we won the teams last year. So my first Diamonds experience was awesome. And I wish I was going back. Obviously, we had other plans for that, but I'll be there next year.
Next year. And then we still have events to finish out the year. That's what's crazy now. When that it used to be like for us, like diamonds was the last thing, right? Now we got two more and some other things. We also got WKU starts Wednesday. So the Wednesday before diamonds, WKU Worlds is happening in Calgary. So there was a big contingent from the U.S. going this year. I think they have one of the apparently from my students, they said it was probably double the size the qualifiers were from the year before. And I felt like the WKC starts Sunday or Monday after Diamond. So, man, there's just going to be
I believe it starts Sunday after the
so
Diamond.
much for everyone to be watching. And I just hope there's a lot of live streams. Hopefully WKU does that this year because that's something they haven't done in the past. But, it's wild, man. So there's so much going on. And then I know Waco Worlds is coming. And also you have the World Combat Games as well in Saudi Arabia. So we're not done yet, guys. We got lots of sport karate action to really see who claims the titles and fighting forms, demo, everything. So it's cool.
But you know what? It's this time of year, man. And I've kind of mentioned this to you before. Like there's 2 times a year that I get most excited about karate tournaments, and that's really early spring and September and October. Right? I mean, I get giddy. But what's so funny? I was just mentioning this to Lindsay, like, I don't know, was it last week or something? That like it's still, I've been in Illinois for this is 12 years now, and I don't understand it. Like right now, we're deep into fall. I mean, Jeff, I don't even know what it's like. What's it like where you're at? I don't even know. Are you East Coast? Where are you? What is Virginia considered?
What is that? Of course, we're East Coast. We are East Coast. We're right in the middle.
You're like smack in the middle, right?
Smack in the middle of North and South. Yeah, we're like right.
I know.
Yeah,
so like,
right
what are you?
Virginia is so weird. All right, honestly, like if I'm considered Southern Virginia. Okay, and like that's a real thing. Okay, like the top half of Virginia is completely opposite from the bottom half. All right, or actually even the western half and the eastern. It's just a wild state. All right, you can get a little bit of everything there. But yeah, I mean, are you talking weather wise?
Well, that's where I was going. I was going with that because, dude, when I go outside right now and it's like, I'm like mid 50s, something like that. I'm like, this is so strange to me. This is odd.
Yeah.
Because Jeff, how many diamonds have you been to when you see snow on the ground?
At least 5. Yeah.
Right. That's that was my life, right? In early October, right? Heck, there was one where there was a blizzard where they dared put it in November,
it was
right?
All the way. Yeah, that was crazy. I was there for that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, right now it's morning. It's 38 to 40 degrees, and then it's 75 by 2 o'clock. That's why. That's how 75 to 80. How crazy! So it could be. Yeah, it's like it's insane because I have to like wear a hoodie in the morning to go to the gym, and then once I get out of the gym at like 9, it's burning up, and I'm like, what the heck, So yeah, that's how it is for our fall and even the beginning into winter. It's like that.
Well, where I was going with that is sometimes when you have a certain weather, like it's a nostalgia, it reminds you of things. So this weather reminds me of like, all right, this is what my body should be doing right now. This is where my mindset should be right now. Because I'm retired from the game, but I haven't been retired that long. It's not that many years, right? So when my mindset is like, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. Like I'm just like, yeah, but guess I'm not.
Guess I'm not.
So it's a really weird thing for me. So I'm excited to be at a tournament and just really kind of experience the martial arts athletes for what's going to be happening. I better be seeing something cool. I want to see some jump spin kicks. I want to see people get dropped with axe kicks. Peyton's not going to do it. Somebody's got to do it.
I wish.
I know. I can't wait. We will be back Monday with Inside Scoop, and I was fuming actually before we got on the show because I'm still catching up and listening to Fist Kicks and Flicks. And this may be my least favorite episode they've ever done.
Talk to
Okay, I just they're watching The Foot Fist Way, right? All right. Have you seen
It's
Foot
a
Fist
hilarious
Way?
movie. It's hilarious.
It's a
Yeah, it's
hilarious
awesome.
movie. All three of them are reviewing it like it's a serious movie and it's just the worst movie ever made. Like it's supposed to be a joke. Like you've never
But it
had
is a
a
bad
martial
movie.
artist. Oh, it's a bad movie. It's supposed to be. That's what makes it great. It's making fun of martial arts.
You know what it is, Jeff?
And they're all
I just realized what it is.
serious.
The Foot Fist Way is the Napoleon Dynamite of karate movies.
That was exactly what I told Angel. I texted him like, dude, this is the Napoleon Dynamite, except there's a lot more cussing.
Did you
There's no
really?
cussing. I really told her. I'll send you that text too. And he's like, that's great.
That's
like,
awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. Have you seen this movie, Peyton?
I think so. It sounds familiar.
No, you haven't. No,
Yeah.
you know if you've seen this. This would be burned into your cerebellum.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen it though.
All bad. Like it's about all bad, over the top, egotistical martial arts instructors. And it's great. But I really feel like Gene and Angel were like saying it like, hey, you know, it's a real movie. All right. Well, we got to go. This is an awesome episode. We will be back next month. And hopefully, start doing some more shows as well. Thank you so much, Peyton. Got anything to wrap us up with?
I don't. It's always a pleasure. I always love doing this. I have so much fun. So
thank you so much,
This has
guys.
been another episode of Peyton's Scoop. Peyton's Extra Scoop.
got
there
it.
We go.
See ya.